Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. Welcome, welcome, bienvenue to Super en Diffusion, episode 8. This is a very special episode because we have not one, we have two introductions to our creative grant winners for you. We are also going to do the jus of la carte in a moment. But first, I would like to see if we can bring a very special guest in. We're going to come straight off the top. In a moment, we're going to tell you what nos amis have been up to with the map here. But in the meantime, I am going to bring in a guest, one of our creative grant winners, Claudia Gillies. Claudia Gillies, we're going to see if we can get her. Hi, Claudia. Good morning.
Good morning. Which way do you want me? This way?
If it'll adjust, will it go that way? Maybe it's locked in vertical. We're good. We're good here.
Okay.
Claudia, are you in your studio in Berlin at the moment?
I am. Good
Wonderful.
morning.
It's so nice to see you. We're going to see what you're working on in just a moment, but I wanted to start. We met a little more than a year and a half ago in Berlin for the Make Running Unrest event, where you were on a panel talking about the bridge between creativity and running, but you were no stranger to TSP before that. I'm wondering if you could share what your relationship and experience has been with the Speed Project up to date.
So I've done a few races now with the Speed Project. I had a very exciting first race, LA Las Vegas. I don't know if we talk about that here because it's mention what happened, but I suppose my background is in long distance horse riding, actually, and so it kind of was like a natural thing for me after moving to Berlin to fall into this like ultra marathon running, first marathon running and then ultra running, and I suppose these endurance sports and the kind of pursuit of these big challenges and tricky challenges is what drives me a little bit. And I mean, in particular, this panel talk you're talking about, it was the line between kind of endurance sports and creativity and how those things really go together, which in my opinion, they really blend well together. They're two things that feed into each other very well. So, yeah.
Yeah, we in the studio, I think that resonates very deeply, is this the committed endurance to push through and create something. I think there is a through line with that, and going out and doing really challenging things with your body in unexpected terrain. And so we very much feel and also appreciate what it is that you do and the energy that you bring in. You've run different TSP experiences a few times, I think, with Cool Runnings. You also run with the Braves in Berlin.
Mhm.
And then this year, you're one of the recipients of our creative grant, which was brought forward to bring in exactly what you're describing. I think that we're very fortunate to have met so many creatives across so many mediums. Photographers, we've met filmmakers. You're an artist. You paint on large format canvases. Can you tell us a bit about your application to the grant and how that's evolved to what you're working on now?
Yeah. I mean, the whole process was so beautifully aligned because I was actually with a team. I was going to run Chamonix this year, and the team, for its own reasons, wasn't able to participate in the end. It was a team of new people to me. So it was a really nice process actually getting to know all this kind of group that I hadn't met before. It wasn't my usual running crew. And at the same time, or like around the time it looked like it was about to fall over, I was offered this grant was kind of nudged and put in front of me. And so I applied and then was one of the lucky recipients. And I mean, to be honest, I think I wasn't entirely sure what I was applying for, but I think we were all making it up kind of as we went along, and I'm very good at that. So it's just been a really beautiful process, really, where you guys gave me kind of, there weren't so many conditions for the application, so I just went in with my ideas and like what intuitively I would love to do. Also knowing the space from last year, like the chateau, and have like the race for me last year was super, super special. And I'd also planned a painting exercise around this year's, the LA Las Vegas race. I actually went there with a whole lot of canvases and paint very optimistically. And these races tend to never go as planned. So that one took like the paint house full, and I didn't get a chance to do any of that. But yeah, so it felt like somehow I was being funneled in this direction, and to have the opportunity to do like large format paintings is just like the biggest gift for me, because it's my favorite format, and you guys have given me like, yeah, a lot of free reign. I mean, I think we're still winging it a little, right? We'll see how exactly we present it when we get there, but we've got all our options. Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Same. I just think that the fact that the large format is often the medium that you work on, it's so powerful and captivating, and so I like that has become an element of this. Before you show us what you're working on in the studio, you had also I know that your daughter is a big part of your creative process, and you also talked about her in the application. Can you speak a little bit about why it feels important to include her in what you do? I also know that um, she's often around as you run these different events and things. Just curious, like, that generation, your connection with her, why is that important that she's a part of your process?
Yeah. I mean, she's grown up without really it being her choice. She's come to so much of my running. She's trained with me in the last years. These days, she's a lot more vocal and she gets a bit more choice, but she's a huge part of my like running communities. She considers herself, I'd say, a member of both clubs, and she's very much at home with them. And she's also grown up in my studio. Previously, my studio was at home when she was really little, and then yeah, I mean, she loves both worlds, to be honest. She was with me on track last night. She was with me in the studio sometimes this week. It's for me, I've just, since the beginning, I guess, just integrated her in my life necessarily, I suppose, so that I could, keep having my life. But I find that she just loves it. She thrives. So she was here actually helping me with this project on Monday as we got started. It's really beautiful to see that in the beginning she comes and she's not so interested as I'm setting up, but as soon as I get the paint out, she wants like in. But it's just been a very natural evolution, I suppose, just to include her in everything that I do. But I see the importance and the significance of it as she gets bigger, and just how much of an impact that has. She's very, very creative and free, and I really want all of those things for her. And yeah, I'm really grateful that I can give her a space to play in, and show her as well, like how we move our bodies. I mean, I grew up, in New Zealand, and we moved to Australia. So for me, culturally, my parents were very sporty, active. My family is so. I suppose I live a different life here. We live in an apartment versus a house, and bringing her running and to track and showing her that I do these big paintings and these events. I really like that she sees how me in action. She sees how we move our bodies. This is very much normal for her, which I really love.
It's
Pretty much like I remember.
yeah, it's very moving to hear, and I think just observing it, I'm just quite moved by it. Nils also puts a lot of. He reminds me that we continue to need to stay tapped into younger generations as the Speed Project evolves, and so as we all work together more, if she ever has an interest in being a correspondent with us on the ground, we'd welcome a young voice and a young perspective in as well. So let her know that that's an option. So so I'd love if you wouldn't mind showing what you're working on, and if you want to talk through it in any way, curious to see the canvases.
Yeah. So I guess just to explain, I mean, you can see them behind me.
Wow.
So it's not so often that a space can hold such a big piece. So I guess I jumped at the opportunity knowing that the endpoint was the chateau and having seen it before, to see whether we could bring these really, really big pieces. So they're each 10 meters long.
Wow.
There's 2 of them. My studio doesn't quite hold like the 20 meters at a time, so I've had to work on them piece by piece. So that's the interesting part of it, I suppose. It's quite tricky. I can't see the whole thing at once. Also, just from my perspective, like I would need to be maybe up on a ladder to see the whole 10 meters at once. So it's going to be a bit of a surprise for me too, to see hopefully like these 2 work. Trust the process. And a lot of the difficulty comes around like the drying time, because I need to let things properly dry before I can kind of touch them or move them. And I suppose I work very much like in layers, so a lot of under layers, which is where my daughter was helping, but then I come back through and kind of work. And for these pieces, as I said, it was after what happened last year with the dog bite on TSP, I really went to LA, Las Vegas this year thinking, okay, I want to kind of give something back to the, I don't know, just like make friends again with the landscape. That's its own thing. But Chamonix last year the Chamonix Marseille race was it just had all these layers of like everything coming together and everything being super, super special after what had happened with the dog bite, after kind of a big year. I was with incredibly special people. It was just like, yeah, for me to be able to channel that into these paintings is, it's like there's a lot of strong feelings, a lot of memories. I've looked back kind of through all of the documentation and the photos just to really get a feel for all of the things that were happening. And what I really wanted to paint was kind of the blur and the essence of the race. It's just this intensity of emotion. It's like it's constantly moving. You're barely getting a break. You're just evolving. You're moving kind of together as a unit. Sometimes you're not so together as a unit. There's a bit of everything going on. There's all of the color, all of the like the temperatures, the smells, everything, like particularly the color and the texture is really what drives me, I suppose. But this intensity of emotion. So I'll pick you up.
Yes, thank you.
I mean, you can only see some parts here. This is where I'm standing, is the top of one of them here.
Wow.
So I rolled up. This one is actually up the other way.
Wow.
So that's the top end. So for me, we have to also see when they're hanging. It's about the story. So some years ago, it's not at all a similar project, but a similar format. I was lucky enough to do like big, long paintings for a Berlin Fashion Week project. And what kind of came through was this almost like a Japanese scroll in a way, like a story told, from top to bottom, left to right, like that you can kind of read down. So that's what I'm doing here, I guess, is, it's the race from the beginning, kind of from the pre-beginning, through the beginning of it, all the way through, moving through the different elements, the different kind of colors, the different parts of the landscape. All the way from the mountains to the sea, essentially, and that finishing feeling. So,
Claudia, it's so beautiful. I chills on my body. I think that I'm looking at this table where we have maps that go through the region, and they have a coloring that is a sibling to what you've done. And I think that my reflection on the geography is exactly what you described, that we go through so many different landscapes and colors, and that alone is unique to this region. And it in itself is very moving in the fact that you've translated it here. You've brought this medium in to us that normally we don't see. I'm just humbled by seeing it. It's beautiful. And we're so thankful to have you a part of this initiative. And I can't wait to see them in person. Thank you so much for this preview. It's really, really wonderful. Anything else you want to show in the studio?
I mean, right now this is taking over most of the studio.
That's it. This is the space. Yeah.
Not a lot to show you. And I think The other maybe things that's quite special to mention is that the planners, I think we can talk about this when we get there after we present it, we will hopefully divide it up. Like we'll actually break it down, cut it up into pieces so that everybody who's run, everyone who is participating, supporting, running, is welcome to take home a piece. And yeah, I mean, to me, that's kind of the best. Like, that's what it's all about. Like, it's, you know, kind of a piece made in the spirit of the race, and it belongs to everyone. And I think there's like a lot of kind of beautiful texture and color in there. So hopefully everyone can get their own like unique, really beautiful piece. You can stick it on the fridge or frame it or whatever you want. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited, nervous, excited to see it hanging when we're there.
Yes, I'm sure. I feel all those emotions as well. And I think that if all of this materializes in the way that we hope, I think it's really special to that everybody gets a small piece that they can then, like you said, take home and take with them. Because I think it's yeah, it's a unique thing, and also part of what we're trying to do is bring everybody in, and so it's really nice that becomes part of the process and the arc of this. So, Claudia, I appreciate it so much. Do you have time for one more question?
Yeah, I've got time.
Okay, sweet. We've been asking folks questions from the Proust questionnaire. Are you familiar with that and Marcel Proust?
I'm familiar with the work, but I don't know exactly
Okay.
what you're going to
So
ask.
the Proust questionnaire, yeah, it's this list of big life questions that he became known for based on his responses, and so we pulled 12 of them that have been asking people here, and again, they're big questions that ideally drive at like someone's values or how they operate or their mindset. So normally we have dice here that we have people roll in studio, but maybe I'll just ask you to pick a number between 1 and 12, and I'll ask you a corresponding question based on that.
Okay.
She froze. Is she coming back? She's coming back. I think she's coming back. She's gonna be back. Okay, you're back. Sorry,
Okay.
I lost you. Yeah. So a number between 1 and 12.
Number 9, please.
Number 9.
Yeah.
Who are your heroes in real life?
In real life?
Yeah.
Like they're living people.
That's right.
I mean, hands down, my daughter is like constant source of inspiration. She's just prolific in the way that she works. I mean, I'm every day I guess we don't really have screens at home, so she's constantly drawing, creating, like engineering little things that because she doesn't have, you know, she hasn't been in the world so long and she hasn't been really formed by society. It just comes from her own thinking, and she's just constantly like amazing me. She's making always she comes to me and says, "Mama, I've got a little present for you." She's constantly making these little presents for me, for everyone. She wants to just create everything. But it's the fact that she just doesn't stop. She's not She's not like overthinking. She just creates. Yeah, I really admire that. And she's kind of my everyday inspiration for doing strange, out of the box things and just going and going again. I'm lucky enough as well to be surrounded by incredible women who I think, I don't know, that particularly a lot of the really strong, really incredible women around me are my heroes, I think. Something really special, I think, about women all these women who also support other women who support me, who, really like leading and forging the way. I'd say all of my heroes are really every other people in my life, like the everyday people in my life I've been lucky enough to meet. The ones who are working hard for themselves and kind of selflessly, you know, looking out for the ones around them. They're maybe not famous or Nobel Prize winners, but they're all of the ones who are making a difference I see all around me. So there's kind of, I think they know who they are, and I would name them, but I don't want to miss any. So At the moment, a lot of energy, a lot of female energy around me at the moment, which is very beautiful.
Yes, it really is. Thank you for sharing all that. I appreciate it. And hopefully we can all channel some of that childlike wonder and curiosity and spirit. Claudia, thanks so much for taking some time. I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to see the pieces in person. Appreciate you being a part of this in a different way. And à bientôt.
Yeah. See you soon, Scotty.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye, Claudia. Thank you so much to Claudia Gillies for joining us. As you can see, just like such wonderful energy, and Claudia has been a part of TSP Experiences running, and it's so cool that we're able to bring painting and her artwork into this that is so rooted in, you know, the environment, the route. So very excited for that. We actually were able to speak to Claudia for quite some time, and so what I'm going to do is we're going to go to an interview in just a minute with Sandra, another one of our grant winners who's working in a different medium, photography and printed matter. She talks a little bit about what her project is and shows us some of what she's been working on. I'm going to save the game of the map, le peu, le jeu de la carte, something like that. Max is going to help me out with that later. Hold on, I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. It is the, don't have it. Do I have it? Hang tight, everybody. Dun, 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 dun. Le jeu de la carte. We were right, le jeu de la carte. We're going to save that for the next Super en Diffusion because we really want to take some time and show you where all these solo athletes are. So we're gonna wrap up this episode with this interview with Sandra Blank, another one of our creative grant winners. Thank you for watching this episode of Super en Diffusion. Scotty, what do you got out there? Hi. Hello. Funny meeting you here. This is Sandra. Sandra.
Whatever you like.
Whatever.
Sandra.
Sandra was one of our creative grant winners. You were out with Andy Alvarez previously, made a film. Can you tell us a little bit about the project? By the way, we didn't expect to meet this guest here. She just happened to be moving up this trail.
Showed up.
But about the project that you're working on this year out with solo athletes.
So as you said, I was the first time at TSP in LA, Las Vegas, and had so much fun, so much inspiration, and I had so much joy like following Andy and his journey. So this year I want to do it for all solo runners and follow them all and show the connection between the runner and the environment and like capturing the mountains, the flowers, the textures, but also the runners. And then I want to combine that in individual zines. So at the end of the run, everyone gets like a teeny tiny zine with a few pages, some quotes, what they say, things that I find on the way, special moments. And I also have a little printer, so I print everything out on the way, and then they get a little zine afterwards. And when I'm done, I put it all in a big zine and combine all the stories.
I didn't even realize, I'm still discovering things about this project. It sounds so dope that you are physically printing it here on site as well. Really, really cool. You don't have to, I'm putting you on the spot. Anything that you've shot this morning, raw, I understand, like in camera, that stands out to you that we can maybe just get a little glimpse of?
Well, so we had like few moments with Alex. This place quite dark, but yeah, we met her in like teeny tiny village just before we went up here. Cleo is actually running with her because Alex is a big fan of Misty. So we had like a little run together, just few meters.
Yeah.
And got really nice shots of her. We waited also in Chamonix just before they went up the ski slope to get everyone, even Beal from beginning, and then we waited up to the boys group, the party group.
Yeah.
So yeah, got some cute like this, almost like a little
that's
selfie
really nice.
with Misty. Like here, they're friends now, Alex and Misty. So yeah, some cute ones, and then also this morning, obviously, in the
Start line.
Yeah, at the start. Few ones have to go through, like already so many.
Love it. Awesome. Do you have any sense of who's next and how far out they are?
Actually, yeah. We were hoping to just get up here and wait for them. I don't know, is Beal already?
Beal is passed and Filippo is passed. So I don't know where Jeremy is. And then I see
Jeremy was actually in front of Filippo just before we went up here. Then Filippo took over.
Okay.
Marcel?
Yeah, I haven't seen Marcel either.
Yeah.
So do you think that, because we saw Filippo maybe 45 minutes ago here.
Okay.
Do you think
45 minutes.
Do you think
okay.
Jeremy is behind him or in
I
front?
think they're really close. I think
Okay.
Filippo and Jeremy are probably quite close.
Okay.
I think then there's like a bigger gap,
Yeah.
and then the next one is Alex.
Okay, great. And then I think that the Three Musketeers, the party group,
The party
and
group,
Chris
yeah.
and Lulu, I feel like are like 5 or 6 miles back.
I think
like,
between them
it's
is
8K.
also yeah. So when we were in the village, we met Alex, and then after that we just left because there was like a little bit more distance.
Okay.
So I think then we have a bit more time.
Okay, great. Excellent. We have a little setup right up there with the
Okay.
2 cars, so you can also go up there, hang out. We have some pastries if you like
Oh,
anything to eat.
awesome.
Yeah, for
Perfect.
sure.
Thank
Cool.
you.
Good to see you. Bye, Misty.
Misty.
Bye, Cleo.
Alright,
Okay,
thank
cool.
you.
For sure. We'll see you in a second.
Are you going that way?
We're going to go down this way a little more. Cool. You never know who you might meet out here in the French countryside, the French mountains. But really cool to have Sandra out. Again, she was our creative grant winner. We have 3 creative grant winners out all doing projects for Chamonix. So you just met Sandra. There's also Geneva, who was at LALV, photographer. She's coming out. And then Claudia Gillies, Australian who lives in Berlin, runs with the Berlin Braves. Thank you, Scotty. Always great to have you out there reporting. Keep us updated, everything you hear. One thing I do want to correct, you said we were going to talk to more grant winners in the future. We actually just talked to a grant winner in the past. We are super en diffusion. You are maybe mega en diffusion. That said, great to meet Claudia. Great to meet Sandra and hear what they're both up to. Our 3rd creative grant winner, Geneva, aka DJ, is going to be dans la maison very soon. So we're going to talk to her as well. So we will deliver on Scotty's promise. In the meantime, this has been Super en Diffusion. Merci. Au revoir. À bientôt. À bientôt. À bientôt.